Alright, welcome back to Chained Soldier Anime Review, episode number 17. We are here reviewing the 20th episode of the series, The Commander of the 2nd Squadron. This episode covers the first 19 pages of chapter 70 and the entirety of 71 to 73. Yep, we basically have Kachu, of course, brings on Yuki as well. And then, of course, you see them in their civilian garb. Now, in the case of Kyoka, not the first time she's been in civilian clothes. Mira, who's only appeared in at least 2 or 3 episodes this entire season so far, we see her where she wears normal clothes. And it is brought up the fact that Mira and Kyoka basically know each other since they practically joined the Demon Corps. They practically joined around the same time, and the fact they've always been rivals. And it's also implied the fact Mira might be attracted to Yuki. What woman isn't in this series? And discuss something more with basically there was the whole thing with the slave thing basically is brought up here with the opening scene. So then of course they get to this nice fancy hotel where we see Kyoka take a shower. And then Mira joins in, like, ooh, 2 beautiful women. They're like, oh my. They chat for a minute, they can talk about it. And then, of course, Yuki's asleep in his bed, where he wakes up, and I think he tries to go to the bathroom, but doesn't notice the fact Mara coming out, and she is butt naked. Basically, Yuki is probably the first guy to see without clothes on. And she thinks that he probably should leave, and of course Mara's like, no, you can stay. It's fine. Yeah, he has no problem with the fact this guy that she doesn't know very well sees her completely naked. Yes. And then we actually have, then they track, thanks to working with the members of the Allison, which they actually met these two who were part of the Allison family, these police officers. They actually just met these people. Like, this is basically this is 20th episode series. They just met them, like, not that long ago, like just a couple episodes ago. They actually met them. Maybe episode 6. So they're gonna look for them, and of course, they break in. Of course, Mira takes them to look at, and we see this weird red energy surrounding her. That's not her ability. Mira's ability is that she can copy herself multiple times. That comes from her vice commander, which of course the whole thing is like planting the flag on the rooftop of their squad headquarters. And that power is also apparently that she wears a mask, and she, of course, is following her since they started, and that's kind of how it is with that. And then Mira takes out, I believe it was the second lookout, which is basically a spider. Kyoka with Yuki in slave mode takes to the other one, which Kyoka is injured, and then comes the rewards, which they go to a separate room in this nice mansion. Oh my god, this place is good. Like, gorgeous mansion. And like, check out the things. And then, of course, you see Kyoka pulling up her skirt. And then she proceeds to take all of her clothes off for Yuki, just so Yuki can basically examine her, because she's got a couple of basically cuts on her arm. And while they're being treated, Mira steals a glance at Yuki. And she thinks with the fact that she actually walked on them, where she was completely naked, and you see Yuki basically touching her lower back. Not her head, basically her back. And, by the way, not the first time that Yuki has seen Kyoka butt naked. I think this has happened several times in this show. And the previous episode, these two actually made out. Yep. And then, of course, Yuki goes back to the room, where, of course, basically, the Thunder God shows up. I had to look up her name here. Let's see. Yeah, Kyotsu. It sounds like she's voiced by Jade Saxton. Yes. So she mentions, oh yeah, like I was wondering where by the way they rescued the kidnapped victims in the episode, and they're all completely naked. And Yuki has no problem with the fact that he just saw 10 women completely naked. Maybe because he's used to it. And of course, she shows up in his room, well, the room they're staying in, and she mentions, oh yeah, one of the women she kidnapped, she was basically having sex. Yes, seriously. So Kitata's like, well, by the way, she also paralyzes Yuki with one of her feathers, so he can't speak, can't move. The only way he moves basically when Kyotsu basically moves him, and it's implied, based on this ending, that she wants to have sex with Yuki. And in the episode, quite interesting to say the least, this one. Yes. Now, we only have just a few more episodes left to go, and then sadly put, this is going to go. Now, unlike in the case of Hell Mode, which that is come back just a few months, no word on season 3 yet for this one. Don't know about that. But the interesting question with this one is, like, and it's a very interesting one, like, okay, so, like, how far does the anime go to with the end of the second season? Like, how far does the chapter go to with the last episode? The last episode looks like it stops at 86, and the most recent chapter that came out was 178. So, the curious question is like, how many chapters does it be adapted to the whole series? Answer is 92, so there's a high probability we get a season 3. My guess is probably not yet. No, there's no been a word about season 3 yet. I think I did hear a rumor we might get a season 3, but no confirmation for that just yet. But yeah, great episode overall. Can't wait for the next episode, which will air next week. Be released anyways. Yeah, the 10th episode season. Yep. So yeah, so next up is ReZero. Okay, next video. Bye.